The project was eye-opening. Teens should not have kids. The sack didn't even move, and it was still such a burden.
Welcome to The Harvest. I'm Juliana Farrow, and recently I got to try my hand at parenting by participating in my AP Psychology class's Flower Baby project.
The purpose of the baby project
Oh, by the way, I should probably tell you, this is my teacher, Mr. Stoddard.
show students, that having a child is a huge responsibility.
The rules were simple. We are to carry around a 5-pound sack of flour disguised as a baby for 5 days. Part of our documentation was taking 3 pictures a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 at night. First things first, I had to think of a name for my child.
My baby's name was Stanley.
My baby, I named him Carlos.
My baby was named Hunter.
So my baby's name is Chris.
I went with George. Day 1, show and tell. It was the first day that everyone brought their babies to school, and boy was I shocked. I'd barely had George, and I was already so protective of him. I mean, it was just a sack of flour. I remember not letting anybody babysit him. There was no way I was leaving him in the hands of someone else.
One time with the babies, people thought it'd be funny to leave 7 babies with me at a time, and I ended up dropping all of the babies, and they all kind of got in trouble by the teacher, and it was just kind of funny because I'm like, haha, I dropped your baby.
Some people proved to be more trustworthy with the babies, but how could you know?
So I was in the bathroom and this girl comes out of her stall with her flour sack baby and asks me to hold the baby while she washes her hands. So I'm just kind of standing there holding her baby as she washes her hands. And I don't know this girl, but I felt very honored that she trusted me enough to hold her flower baby while she washed her hands. It was great.
Day 2. The highlight of this day was when I took George horseback riding. We weren't going very fast, but I made sure that he was wearing a helmet and sat in my lap. Don't get me wrong, even though we weren't moving very fast, it was not easy to keep him safely cradled in my arms. At one point, my horse spotted a patch of grass and decided to trot over to eat it. Out of instinct, I just leaned forward to grab the reins and completely forgot about little George. Even though I was concerned that there was a possibility that he would tumble off the saddle, it was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing, and I chose the reins over him. This made me realize, if he was actually a newborn, I wouldn't be able to put him on a horse and pose for a picture. Some of my personal hobbies would have to be put on hold.
I took him to In-N-Out and it was kind of awkward. People gave me weird looks. And it was really annoying having to carry him around all week.
I had a baseball tournament with my brother, so I brought him all the way out there. And it was chaotic, a lot of people there, and I had a lot of things to do. I was helping out and stuff, so I thought I was a good parent.
Day 3 and 4. George was getting really heavy. 5 pounds didn't seem like much, but we had to support the head at all times, and with my backpack filled with heavy books, I started to notice how difficult it was becoming to properly hold George.
It was a 5-pound sack of flour, and on my A days I have to carry my English binder, my backpack, which is stuffed with textbooks, my sports bag, possibly a camera, and now I had an extra sack of flour. There were several times when I was almost late to my 0-period classroom because I was carrying so much stuff and I had to walk so slowly.
I mean, she got really heavy. I think I fed her too much or something because she was fat. No baby is that heavy.
Day 5. Finally, it was the last day and George was in one piece. Other babies were not so lucky.
On the second day, I dropped my baby and its head rolled off. I never found the head, but I replaced it.
So I was in chemistry class, Chem 2 AP, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And so I left my baby there because I told somebody to take care of it because I didn't want to take my baby to the bathroom because that's just way too much stress. And I come back and my baby's hanging from the ceiling and tied on to this one string with one arm off, and I was just like, oh, that's really sad.
I enjoyed my 5 days of motherhood, and I found myself upset to part with George. It was an interesting project, and the weirdest part for me was the next week at school. It felt really odd not having him sit on my lap.
And by the end of the project, I realized that even though it's just a little flower baby, I got connected to little Hunter, and that I'm sure that's only a minuscule amount compared to having an actual baby.
Thank you for listening to my podcast. I'm Juliana Farrow, and if you would like to hear more stories like this, please visit us at openorchardproductions.org.